Hello, YouTube. Just gonna make a video today because, well, I've got some beans and cheese and potato in the microwave, so I'm just waiting for that. I was just watching some of these bloody videos, and it kind of upsets me that there are some people out there who are sort of, I don't know, excited about the fact that, you know, this 2012 thing. I don't know if any of you know about it, or sort of, there's been a film out recently about it, you know, this sort of the Mayan calendar and all this shit, predicting that the world's going to end in 2012. And a lot of it's been done before. It's been done before a few times. People have said, well, it's gonna, the world's going to end. Apparently the last time it was supposed to end was 2006. And I remember I took it quite seriously as well, and I was sat there just thinking, shit, you know. And this doesn't mean to say that I don't take the latest, this 2012 thing. I don't, you know, it's not to say I don't take that seriously. I'm not to know. Who am I to say? Who am I to, you know whether that's going to happen or not? I'm not going to dismiss the whole idea. I'd like to think it's a load of bollocks, because I don't want to fucking, you know. Do you not, you know, understand, you people who seem to, you know, you people who rave about this thing happening, you know, people making fucking videos of like the world's, you know, fucking sort of volcanoes and shit erupting over towns, and, you know, alien abduction. Why? What's so, you know, what is so good about that? Tell me. You know, you realise the end of the world means you are going to fucking die. I don't want to die. You know, call me a bit of a crazy, you know, nutter for wanting to live a bit, you know. I'm 19, for fuck's sake. You know, I want to live a little longer than that. And surely I might, you know, 40 years on from now, I'll probably be pissing my last in some, you know, hospital or something. But that extra 40 years would be very nice to have. And I don't want these people's, you know, a lot of these people just sort of, do think about it, please. Do think about it when you say these things, you know. Oh, you know, 2012 is going to be amazing, you know. It's all very well, you know, as well, for people to sit there and say that, you know. Why would you rave about something like that? Why would you make, you know, we seem, as human beings, we seem to sort of sit there and talk about things, you know, what if this happened, what if that happened, you know, global, those fucking, you know, The Day After Tomorrow, that fucking film. We are in the process of shitting all over the world and, you know, damaging it, yet we complain about it and all that. But we go out of our way to make films about it and what it's going to do, but we don't actually bother. We don't bother to sort it out. You know, you would have thought at this, you know, this stage of the game, we'd be a little more. You know, are we just lazy, or are we just, you know, what the fuck? You know, what? It's madness. Just total madness. So yeah, these people, like, the talk about 2012 as if it's, you know, something like, you know, like a fantasy, or do you realise the whole sort of, you know, this is supposed to be about the world ending, and people just sit there all day and talk about it as if it's, you know, yeah, they say it's going to happen, but in their head they're thinking it's never going to happen. Yeah, I don't think it's really anything to joke about. I mean, I'll tell you what, right? If you are so excited, if you're so, you know, if you see this as a real purpose or something, this whole 2012 thing, why don't you go and fucking kill yourself now? Go on, go and kill yourself. I want to be happy. I want to help people out. I want to be, active. I want to do things. I want to get high. I want to get plastered. I don't want to die. Not yet. Not for a long time. And you get all these dickheads at the same time just sat there all talking about how the world's going to end in 2 years or whatever. If you got anything better to do, if you got, if it is going to end in 2 years, what's the point on you bloody sat there talking gibbering shit? Go and kill yourself now. 2 years, nothing. I mean, I fucking hate you lot. We're so obsessed with destruction and I know I sound like a fucking ponce, but we just, it's not enough for us, is it? We just have to keep ploughing on and ploughing on through the most horrific sort of, and now we're stuck here making film after film about the destruction of Earth and, the end of mankind and stuff like that. Sorry, but I personally think, mankind's quite a good thing. I don't want it to be extinct. There are some problems it's got, but I don't want it to be wiped up, destroyed. It baffles me, it really does, These people that talk about it as if it's, just talk about it casually, and yet you ask them, do you actually believe it? They go, oh yeah. So they're not at all fazed by the fact that in 2 years they're going to fucking die. Yeah, okay, 2 years. In short term, it is quite a long time. You're going to be waiting a while before you, get killed by a giant asteroid or, I don't know what's supposed to happen when the world ends. Personally, I don't give a shit. Hopefully I'm asleep. I don't want to be there for the big, whatever it is. Don't care. I only want to know about living, I don't give a shit about death because I don't know what happens afterwards, if there is an afterwards. And if there isn't an afterwards, then fuck it, I don't want to die. Can't you people just stop? Can't you just stop? It's just never enough, is it? For fuck's sake. Anyway. Rant over. Beans and cheese. And potato. I'm going to put my knob in it.